Sorry, but I think I owe Bequiet an apology. So this has got to do with the Pureloop 240 review I uploaded about 3 days ago. Mind you, if you haven't watched it, you should go check it out. I'm pretty proud of that review. Actually, I think it was 4 or 5 days ago. But the idea behind that video was this. I wanted to benchmark this in a realistic daily drive situation, the Pureloop 240 all-in-one water cooler, which is right here. I wanted to benchmark this CPU cooler in a realistic situation. So I used it in my daily driver case, the ZXT H500i. But because of my inexperienced benchmarking CPU coolers, I didn't realize until the whole benchmark was done, after the fact, after the whole script was done, and I was actually shooting the video. The case that I'm using here has a flat front, which is why the performance results of the Pureloop 240 really suffered against the air cooler that I used in the test, which is the NHD14. But by that point, the video was pretty much done, so I could put like a little paragraph at the end to try to fix it, but basically, there was a bit of a flaw in the testing methodology, and while I would have still done that realistic situation in terms of my benchmarks, I should have done a benchmark where with the Pureloop 240, I gave it maximum airflow and isolated all other variables. Science practical examination testing 101, scientific method 101, isolate the variables. I screwed that up, but that was my inexperience on testing CPU coolers on that part. So as a result, that the Pureloop 240 looked really bad in that review. I still recommended it though, because I really like the Pureloop 240's design, fillable reservoir, I really like the excellent accessories, I really like the Pure Wings fans that it came with. Basically, I said, if you're looking for an AIO, the Pureloop 240 is a very good AIO. It's just that I prefer an air cooler over an AIO. But the benchmarks in that video did make the Pureloop 240 look a little bit bad against a 10-year-old Noctua NHD14. So I decided, okay, let's redo the benchmarks without a case that has no ventilation. Let's isolate the other variables and just make it all about if these coolers were given max airflow, how would they stack up? So here's the new testing methodology and here are the new results. So the new methodology is this. Because I didn't want to have to rebuild everything in a new case and all that stuff, I didn't use a high airflow case, but I used the same case but with the side panel open, and this time the radiator hanging out by the side. I know it's super janky, but I don't have a test bench, so deal with it. And to ensure that the ambient air was consistent and the airflow was consistent, I used a room fan blasting the whole computer area, and air conditioning to ensure that the ambient temperatures and the ambient air around the computer was consistent, so that the difference in performance between the Pureloop 240 and the NHD14 is completely decided by how effective their heat dissipating abilities are. So side panel open, fans at full speed, room fan blasting air to make sure the ambient air is fine, all that stuff, said and done, here are the results. Pureloop 240 versus the NHD14. The Pureloop 240 beat the NHD14 by about a degree in terms of average temperatures at Prime 95 max load test. The Pureloop 240 gave me an average temperature of about 55.3 or 55.4 degrees Celsius, and then the Noctua NHD14 in my daily driver, which is still in my daily driver, gave me an average performance of about 56.4 or 5 degrees Celsius. So the difference is about a degree. So the Pureloop 240 went from losing by 9 degrees to winning by 1 degree Celsius, from no airflow to full airflow. So sorry, Bequiet, should have shown this side inside my review as well. However, I still absolutely stand behind what I said in terms of the verdict of that video, because this victory, while it is a victory, is a little bit hollow. The NHD14 is a 12-year-old design, it's covered in dust, it's a bit corroded, and it just shows that, yeah, even a 10-year-old CPU air cooler can keep up to a all-in-one water cooler that has supposedly more heat dissipation abilities than the air cooler. So my verdict in that video was essentially this. If you wanted performance, silence, and reliability, you go with an air cooler. Less moving parts, so it's quieter and more reliable, and the performance is actually better than an all-in-one water cooler. Linus Tech Tips has shown this with a variety of all-in-one water coolers. A top quality air cooler, the same price as the Pureloop 240, from a reliable brand, a quality brand like Bequiet, will destroy the Pureloop 240 when brand new and in pristine condition, unlike my 10-year-old NHD14, which is, as I said before, covered in dust. In those situations, without a doubt, the Pureloop 240 will lose. So if you're looking for performance, you go with an air cooler. However, once again, as I said in my original review, if you like AIOs because they look good, if you just want to tell your friends this is water cooled, or you like the look of a particular all-in-one water cooler, or you just like water coolers, or you need it because your case in your particular case, it's really hard to fit very hard to fit like a proper air cooler. So instead of using a rinky-dink flat air cooler, you buy one of these to get good cooling performance, like in a small form factor rig. For those situations where you need an AIO or you really want an AIO, the Pureloop 240 is an excellent choice. I love the refillable reservoir, I love the pump design, I love the fans that it comes with, I love the design, I love the look of it, the braided pumps and all that stuff. The Pureloop 240 is an excellent AIO. So I stand behind the verdict of that original video, but I apologize to Bequiet because that video should have included the benchmarks I got in this video, which was that, yeah, the Pureloop 240 in a full airflow situation does beat my 10-year-old Noctua NH314. It really still recommend it, just like I did in that previous video, just that these benchmarks now show that, you know, the performance delta isn't as bad as it seems. Okay, anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks to Bequiet for sending over these things for me to make a video on in the first place. And I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be coming probably Thursday, and then there'll be another one on Saturday. I think the next video will be about the Razer's RNX. That'll be pretty interesting. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.